Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be in r/Am I the Butthole, where OP's brother seems to think that no one is allowed to get married now because of him. So if that sounds like something you're interested in listening to, then stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. First post, am I the butthole for not defending a girl I barely know after she was kicked out of the friend group for asking to be paid? I do apologise if you can hear that. My cat's got their crinkle toy. Take it elsewhere, missus. Thank you. I, 21F, have a group of 6 friends. 2 months ago, a new girl, Jane, 22F, was introduced to the group. Hey, can we please take the crinkly toy elsewhere, missus? What are doings? For context, one thing our friend group does is trade services. For example, I'll do one of my friend's nails for free and she'll do my hair for free when I need it doing in the future. We generally try to keep the trades within the same price range. For example, if my hair costs 60, I'll trade nails for 60, £70. Anything over £10 is usually paid on top of the free service. If my hair costs 60 and the nails are 100, my friend will pay me 40 quid. To be clear, there is zero obligation to do these trades, and to my knowledge, no one has been pressured into one. It's all about favours and doing nice things for your friends. Yeah, absolutely. Me and my friend have a thing where if we have a takeaway or we go out for food, we kind of take it in turns to buy. So she'll buy one time and then I'll buy it the next, and we just bunny hop it like that, because it's like, why not? And say if the food comes a little more expensive on my turn than it did on her turn, it's just like, so it's just doing something nice for each other, isn't it? Because even though realistically we're ending up spending the same amount on each other, at the time it's like, oh, this meal's like, it's my turn to have the meal bought for me this time, and it feels kind of nice to do that, And also it just makes things a whole lot easier when you don't have to split the bill and things like that. Anyways, Jane joins the group 2-ish months ago and immediately starts asking about my nails. At one point, she says she can't afford to get hers done right now, so I asked her if she wanted to do a trade. Jane makes her own t-shirts, clothing, accessories. The nails I ended up doing on her cost 160 quid. My goodness, that's a lot of money. When it was my turn to pick clothes, accessories, I ended up leaving with about £70 worth. I told her not to worry about paying me back with the £90. All in all, I thought it was a good experience and I got to talk to Jane one-on-one. It was fun. Until Wednesday, the 11th of December, I get a text for Jane apologising and saying she realised she can't afford to just give away £70 worth of her stuff and she needs me to pay her ASAP or she needs the stuff back. At first, I'm really confused because I could not have been more clear about how the trades work and I never forced her into one. I apologise back. You! Call it, please. Noisy. Why can't you take that toy, in a different room, Why do you keep bringing it in here? At first, I'm really confused because I could not have been more clear about how the trades work, and I never forced her into one. I apologised to her, but I said I didn't have some of the smaller items as I'd planned to gift them to my sister for her birthday. Jane then just kept telling me to just pay her back. I said I would when I get paid for my job. No, tell her to get stood on, cheeky cow. Absolutely not. Do not pay her back. She is being so disgustingly rude. And also, if that's the case, I'd be like, okay, then will you owe me 160 quid for the nails? So forget the 70 and let's call it £90 that you owe me, okay? What is she on about? Honestly, to be honest, I heard red flags going off in my head as soon as you said she came into the friend group and straight away started asking about your nails. Gives off a weird vibe to me. That's something you do with friends you're really, really comfortable with and you already have that kind of dynamic with. You don't just come into a friend group and start basically immediately hinting for things off of people. The issue then became her texting. She went to our group chat to complain about me not paying her for the clothes she gave me. She ended up letting it slip that it was a trade, and everyone told her she can't back out of a deal weeks after it happened. She ended up taking to TikTok to complain about how I stole from her and I'm refusing to pay her back. In response, she was kicked out of the friend group. Yeah, you don't want a friend like that. Honest to God, they are going to bring so much hassle to your friendship group if you allow them to remain in it. Kick them out and be done with them. However, now the group is split, half say I should have just paid her as she does seem to be genuinely struggling, while the other half say I am under no obligation to pay her due to the terms of the agreement. The first group think I'm kind of a butthole, but Jane definitely thinks I am. So am I the butthole? No, and her failure to plan ahead on her finances does not mean that you should then have to pay her all that money. You provided her a service that was £160 worth. If she doesn't want to pay you back for that, then you don't pay her back for what she gave you. It's just, oh my goodness. She knew she was going to do this from the start, though, because when you said that she came into the friend group and then immediately started asking about your nails and moaning that she couldn't afford to get her nails done, it was quite clear that she was out for trying to pilfer something off you. Like, it's such bad etiquette to join a new group of people and immediately start trying to get freebies out of them. Edit, some people are questioning how my nails cost 160 quid. I do custom sets that involve hours of art, construction, of charms, stamps, etc. Look up artsy nails on Pinterest. That's the stuff I do. Now, to be fair, if this was in dollars and was in America, then I would understand 160. I am questioning £160 though, I will say. That is a lot of money. However, I know some people are just expensive and charge a hell of a lot. I wouldn't pay it. Not even for artsy nails. I would not pay that because, well, for one, I can do them myself. I do my own artsy nails, to be fair, but I wouldn't pay someone anyway because I just think 160 is a hell of a lot of money just for nails, you know? But then other people would be prepared to pay that, so I don't think it's out of the scope of possibility that that's how much they cost. Obviously, different people are prepared to pay for some things and other people wouldn't pay that much for that. And then down in the comments, Canadian MG 2019 says, from what I understand, she provided you with £70 of goods and you provided her with a £160 nail set. So she owes you 70, if anything. Am I reading this post wrong? And then OP, no, you read it right. Her logic though is that she realised she can't afford to not be paid for the £70 worth of stuff I took. So even though she technically owes me, I'm better off than her, if that makes any sense. Don't care, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She agreed to the trade. Tough. I wouldn't give her a penny. Not a penny. And then Quet? I don't know. They say, if she struggles so much, she could have just gone with her nails not professionally made, not the butthole. Exactly. If she can't afford to pay for something, don't have it. And if she can't afford to give things away, don't make a trade where you have to give something away. Like, don't be so stupid. Next post, am I the butthole for telling a child no? Recently, at a school event, the teacher asked if the parent group I'm part of could provide cookies and cocoa. I thought it might be nice to also provide things to add to the cocoa, in this case, marshmallows, whipped cream, and sprinkles. I had a child tell me that she doesn't drink cocoa and asked for just a cup of whipped cream. No, she and her friends were the first in line. As she ate the chocolate chip cookies, I'm fairly certain it wasn't an allergy to chocolate, just a preference to not drink cocoa. As soon as she asked, the other 5 kids wanted to have just a cup of whipped cream too. So I could see where this would end up. Yeah, definitely. I could see where it'd end up too. So I told her no, that I was sorry, I only had a limited supply of the whipped cream, and I told her yes, I'd have to let everyone do it too, and the people behind her in line wouldn't have the cream to add to their cocoa. I offered her a cup to grab some water, but she stomped away mad. Oh, what a brat. 5 minutes later, her mum came up and asked for a cup of whipped cream, and there was another immediate chorus of people wanting cups of whipped cream too. So I explained about the whipping cream and the people in line, and mum stomped away mad. Oh, I wonder where the kid gets it from. A teacher who was attending the event with her child and not connected to the class or parent group, only add a child in the class, came up and asked with a predictable round of "me too." I again explained that there is still a line out the door and down the hall, and only having a certain amount of whipped cream available, if I say yes to this child, I'll have to let everyone get cups of cream too. So I was sorry, but the answer is no. When this unconnected teacher caught me with my back turned, she took the whipped cream anyway and gave it to the child. I'd have slung it at her. Not the kid, the teacher. which started an avalanche of folks wanting the same thing. So I kept having to say no, sorry, no for the next 45 minutes until everyone had made it through the line. I will say that we didn't end up running out, but the last person to use it got the very last bit out of the last can. So, am I the butthole for saying no and for being mad at the person doing it anyway? No! Of course you're not. I can't stand entitled parents like that just think their sweet little Jimothy should get whatever they want. No, Jimothy's going to end up being a serial killer because you never told them no once in their entire life. Just what is wrong with people? Down in the comments, Deband01 says, not the butthole, but this would turn me off from ever volunteering for stuff in the future again. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. In fact, there's a reason. I don't involve myself with anything to do with PTA. I don't involve myself with any volunteering at my kids' schools. It's because I can't stand other people's kids. I said it, I'm not going to even lie. So many people do not teach their kids manners and how to not be spoiled, entitled little brats. And I can't stand it. So I cannot get involved because I'd end up screaming at some parents. I really would. Now, don't get me wrong, my kids are not angels, but at least I correct them when they be naughty or rude or entitled, you know? At least I tell them no. And then OP replies, out of about 100 kids in 2 classes, I'm the only parent that routinely shoes up to help with this sort of thing. So yeah, not going to be a part of this parent group again next year. Yeah, I wonder why you're the only one of the only ones that turns up to volunteer. It's because of rude entitled kids and rude entitled parents. And honestly, I can't tell you which one's worse. No, actually, I can tell you which one's worse. Rude entitled kids. Because you can't tell off another person's kid, because that's seen as a big no-no. You absolutely can tell off a parent, though. Next post, am I the butthole for getting engaged after my brother's wedding? Oh, goody, more entitled people. Edit paraphrased some direct quotes and removed some potentially identifiable info. Oh, don't worry about that. I paraphrase these readings all the time because sometimes the wordings not quite make sense. So I have to paraphrase to make sure it makes sense. 1 for me reading and 2 for you listening. My brother and his now wife got married 3 days ago, a very small destination ceremony under 15 people total. My now fiancé and I extended our trip after everyone went home and spent a couple of days exploring the Grand Canyon, a couple hours north of the wedding, where he proposed. Ah, that's nice. I don't blame you for extending the trip if you've got to be up there anyway for a destination wedding. Why not make it a bit of a hollybob? When I shared the news with my brother and now sister-in-law, he responded with hostility, saying that it looked like we were competing. What? I apologised quickly, realising that he was advocating for my sister-in-law and that she felt hurt. Although I'm truly failing to understand why. I don't care. Even if sister-in-law felt hurt, she had her wedding day. That's all you get. You don't get to take over the rest of the year. Like, there is one day when you get married that is dedicated to you, and it is all about you, and that you are the centre of attention. Outside of that, no one cares as much as you do about your own wedding. Sorry to burst the bubble, but they just don't. It's like no one's stopping their life just because you got married a few days, few weeks, few months ago. I also texted her a separate apology and explained that it was not our intent to encroach and just wanted to share the news with family, and that it's my belief that there's room for happiness for everyone. Ugh, this video is full of many spoilt brats today, isn't it? In response to my apology, my brother doubled down and said the timing and location were hurtful and that we shouldn't planned around the wedding. I'm assuming what that means is we shouldn't have planned to get engaged around the wedding. Again, your wedding was one day, my friend. You don't get to take over every other day that's close by. It doesn't work like that. Now, don't get me wrong, if OP's husband had proposed on the wedding day, then yeah, absolutely he'd have a right to be peed off. But that's not what happened here, so sorry, tough. Down in the comments, Abalone55 says, not the butthole, and I can see you're trying valiantly to understand, but I'm not sure your brother or wife will be able to give you a good reason for their reaction, because their reaction is wild. Sure, it's rude to propose at someone else's wedding, but that's not what happened. The fact that you and your fiancé got engaged a few days after their wedding before you flew home is a totally different thing. Also, the level of hostility in that message from your brother is nasty and definitely not normal. I'm so sorry that he treats you like that. And I don't know what message that was on about because I didn't see any messages. So I tried to look in the comments. Again, I couldn't find it. Unless they're just saying the message he was sending by saying that. I don't know. But yeah, I was very disappointed I couldn't find that because it sounds like it was very insane. Eoian Shearus, possibly, says, not the butthole. Your brother needs to calm down. The bride gets a day, her one wedding day. She does not get a location, a week, or anything else. She gets her wedding. That is all. You did not encroach. Exactly. And then Winterrain78 says, right, sister-in-law probably got used to everyone making a fuss of her in the last months leading up to that day, and she didn't want to let that go. Now that they will be making a fuss about someone else, and she's jealous. Yeah, definitely. I think that that's what it is. She just wants to remain as the center of attention, and that everyone is still buzzing off a high of her wedding, when the reality is the only people after a wedding that are buzzing and on a high is the married couple. Every single wedding I've been to or been a bridesmaid at, yeah, it was fun for the day, and then afterwards I was just like, okay, that was fun. Back to normal life. You know? Didn't really think of it again. Next post, am I the butthole for not allowing my mum to stay another week after her pipes burst just before Christmas? 38F, I am celebrating my Christmas with my mum. 68F, my brother, 47M, and his family. My mum flew in from out of state and we are driving to a meetup location to spend time with my brother's family. A place in the mountains we all enjoy just for the holidays. All of us live hours away, our mum being the furthest, on the opposite coast. My brother and I are several hours away by car. Always baffles me how long it takes to get anywhere over there in the States, because like here, a 3-hour drive seems like far too much. Like, I don't drive, I'm a passenger princess, but still, it feels like far too much. This year, we received the bad news that while my mum has been at my place, her pipes froze and flooded her basement. She is upset, understandably. I helped her get everything started and have her insurance, a cleanup team, and a general contractor all working on her place while she was with me. She then broached the topic that she wanted to extend her week's stay to 2 weeks or more. I said no, I need to get back to my regular routine and get ready to return to work. She's welcome to stay here as originally planned, which is until Saturday. I'm confused on why she would need to stay more if the flooding was only in the basement and there is a team already there working on getting that cleared up. I feel Mother is using this as an excuse. And of course you're going to feel bad and kind of feel obligated, but no, I think I would have to be like, sorry, but I have to get back to work and I can't be here entertaining you. Your house is fine. It's just your basement and you should probably go home to oversee the works that are being done as well. Then she said she may ask to ride back with my brother and his family to their home in another state, opposite direction than me. She refused to ask him until Christmas, so I gave my brother a heads up last night so he has a chance to speak with his wife. I also told him that he's under no obligation to say yes, as she is still welcome to stay with me until Saturday, and her insurance company will be footing the bill for most of her stay at a hotel and meals if, big if, her residence is uninhabitable, which we do not know at this time. He told me he didn't have the room to take her back with him, 3 people in his car, and no room for a 4th, assuming luggage is the issue. That I should let her stay with me because she's lonely. I told him I understood that, but I'm not wrong for wanting to cap my time with her at the 1 week originally planned. He had left that text on send. My mum can be a challenging personality, and with this unfortunate development, she's even more difficult. I love my mum, but I'm tired. I want my house back, and I don't want to be criticised or complained at. I refuse to allow my lonely mother to extend her stay with me despite the recent damages to an unknown state of her home. Am I the butthole for prioritising my space and personal downtime over my mother's emotional needs? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. There's got to come a point when you do put a cap on it, like a week of having anyone stay at my house, and I would be so fed up. I really would. I am someone who really values my time alone, like my time to myself, as much as I value spending time with people. And I'm also very much set in a routine in my house. So having that upset for a whole week would already be too much for me. Having somebody then just randomly extend their stay and I don't know when they're actually going to leave, I couldn't deal with that. So I completely understand where OP is coming from here. And at the end of the day, she has somewhere to stay. The insurance company have said that if her house is uninhabitable, which when it's only the basement, let's be realistic, the likelihood is it's going to be absolutely fine for her to stay there when they're doing the works. Even if it wasn't, they've said that they will pay for the hotel and food for as long as it takes. So, as much as I understand she's lonely, I also understand that you cannot just be like, oh, yeah, okay, no, stay. Because I have a feeling, considering she wouldn't give you a precise time that she would leave, that this stay would just start getting extended indefinitely, which you really don't want to get into that territory. You got to put boundaries up at the end of the day. Yucky Bunny then says in the comments, not the butthole, you've already done a lot by coordinating the cleanup and the repairs from afar and offering your place till Saturday. Setting boundaries is crucial, especially when it involves switching back to work mode. It's not just about the space, but about getting your head ready for the regular grind, right? Plus, your bro getting a heads up is fair play. It's good to let him work it out with his wife without springing surprises. Mum's situation sucks, but you need to protect your mental peace too. Hang in there. Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. Couldn't say it better. Am I the butthole for telling people I'm not having fun when they ask, and I'm genuinely not? Oh god. Someone's not quite clear on social cues, are they? Goodness. Like, I kind of understand this because I do have one kid who is on the spectrum and are very blunt. And it can come across as quite rude sometimes, but it's not because they're purposefully being rude or mean. It's just because they're saying exactly how they feel. And I have to kind of be there to be like, no, 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 we don't say it like that. You know, you've got to be a bit more tactful. So, you know, maybe it's something to do with that. We will read on and find out. This one is general. I am a guy who, when I don't enjoy something, I'll tell you I don't enjoy something. But if I commit to something, I'll see it through to the end without complaining. This comes to a head where I was on vacation with my older brother in Arizona, who wanted to do a lot of nature hikes. Nature hikes are fine, I don't mind them, but I do dislike walking up large hills. Walking downhill is the easiest thing ever, obviously. Captain Obvious here. It's like being nature's passenger princess. You just put your foot forward and let gravity do all the work. Walking uphill, conversely, is very draining and leaves me sweaty. I don't make a point to complain about something when I do it, so when I was walking uphill, despite not liking it much, I held basic conversation with my brother. As we were heading back down, he asked me if I was having fun, and I said no. Oh my god. Yeah, this is exactly what my kid would do. Are you having fun? Nope. Not because of any fault of my brother, I just didn't find the activity fun. Not even bad, just satisfactory. Later, when he was driving me to the airport for my flight home, he told me, if I ask you if you're having fun, don't say no. I understand that it can be demoralising to hear someone's not having fun, but I don't like it when people ask for my opinion and then get upset when I give my honest answer. If I'm not having fun, I'll just say I'm not having fun. I mean, yeah. Again, living with a neurodivergent child, I get it. I actually get it. This one's been marked the butthole, but I feel like, obviously, to a lot of people, that comes across as being an absolute butthole. And quite often, you know what it is? I feel like there is ways to say you're not enjoying something without just being so blunt about it, but we don't know the context behind why OP is that way. So I feel like could be the butthole or might actually not be the butthole and might just be someone who doesn't understand social cues very well, you know? So I think context here is key on whether I would say butthole. I feel like my experience with my own kid is giving me a bias here. So let's go to the comments and see what they think instead, shall we? Down in the comments, Kebar8 says, "You're the butthole. You could say, it's been a fun day hanging out with you, but man, this hike is steep. I'm looking forward to the downhill bit." That's the sort of polite answer people are looking for. You acknowledge you're enjoying your brother's company, which was what he was looking for, but you can also acknowledge the hike is hard, difficult, etc. It doesn't matter how much the activity sucks, people want to hear that you're enjoying their company. Yeah, exactly. There is a polite way to say, I don't like this. And you can absolutely express if you're not absolutely enjoying the hell out of something, you know? You just have to find little nuanced ways of being like, I don't like this, but I am enjoying spending time with you. Like, I would probably say, oh, do you know what? I don't think I could do another one of these again for a while, but yeah, it's been nice spending time with you. Which kind of then stops them from inviting you to another one for a while. So you get out of that as well. But no, I do feel like if there's nothing going on like neurodivergency here, which again, I think is sometimes used as an excuse for people to just be rude, because I think when you become an adult with neurodivergency, you should by then at least learn how to fake the social cues for a lot of people do. However, there are some that just can't. So we don't know that context, so I would be begrudged to mark it the butthole just because I have experience hands-on with someone who just has no social awareness and will tell you if they think something that you've done is shite. And then late blooming ADHD says, exactly, it's a small social nicety that expresses that I'm happy to spend time with you, even if I don't enjoy the activity. My grandma was very good at, I'm just happy to be with you, or seeing you happy makes me happy, which as a kid I didn't understand was her way of saying this activity isn't my thing, but I'm glad to be here because I love you. I dragged her to so many dumb things, lol. She was really a good sport and never made me feel like the unpleasantness of what we were doing for her outweighed the niceness of being with me. Yeah, and I think that's it. You can absolutely as well just be like, no, I don't enjoy this activity, but I really enjoyed spending time and chatting with you. You know, if you're gonna say I really don't like this, just add on a little bit of a cushion on the end. A little social cushion. And on that note, I think we're going to leave it there for today. So if you've made it all the way to the end, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you'd like to leave a like and a subscribe, I would appreciate it even more. And it will also help you to find your way back here because I do post every single day as well. Other than that, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.